Hello. So today is November 4th of 2025, and I've already taken a shower and everything. I have no makeup on, but I wanted to start making a few videos with informational videos for whoever is watching this, mostly for like my kids. Um, just I wanted to say some stuff before I forget, because there's some things about our family that, as years go on, you forget, and I just wanted to tell you what I know. So this, I tried to get some videos from Ma, but she would get shy and stuff and not answer, so she's decided to write things down. So that's fine too. But this first video I would like to call the beginning. So I just want to say that my mom and dad, my dad's full name was Wilbur Davis Taylor. And some people called him Wilburn, but his actual name on his birth certificate was Wilbur. So that is what is on his gravestone. And he was the oldest of 7 boys. His mom's name was Vera Gibson, and his dad's name was William Taylor. I believe his middle name was Everett, William Everett. My dad was born in 1936, and he passed away in 1997. Jamie was 5 months old and Joey was 3.5 or 3. He had renal cell carcinoma, and that is cancer of the kidney. And it presented as pain in his shoulder. By the time he had symptoms of cancer, it was already in his bones. And so he only lived 6 months with his cancer, his type. But in doing so, he was able to, I believe it was in December of that year, he completed 10 years with Orange County Corrections and was able to provide retirement money for Ma. And she still gets it monthly to this day. So he worked when he was sick, and he saved his PT time, paid time off, PTO, and vacation, and was able to make it to the 10-year mark. So he provided for Ma even after he was gone. His brothers, that's what I wanted to say. I'm going to tell you as many as I can remember. He was the oldest, and the youngest is named Dwight. No, I'm sorry. The youngest is named Dennis. Don't know his middle name, but he is still living. He's the only living brother that's left, Dennis Taylor. He lives in Houston, Texas. But the brothers were Homer, Dwight, Sam, that's 3, and Dennis, 4. I'm embarrassed, but that's all I can remember. I can remember Daddy, Homer, Dwight had long hair, Sam, and Dennis. That's all I can remember right now. But my dad's mom was Vera Gibson, because she remarried a guy named Buddy. But they didn't have any kids together. So my grandma had red hair. That was the redheaded granny. And she had been married before, I believe. I don't know for sure. But her mother, they called Mommy, and she actually had an Indian name, like Little Dove or something like that, even though, like Ancestry says, I don't have any Native American ancestry. We actually had, my great grandmother had an Indian name. I don't know if she was just given one or if Ancestry.com gets it wrong. But anyway, now, my mom, her name is Opal Radine Taylor, and she was born in 1936. Her mother's name was Rietta, and her dad's name was also William Potts. Possibly his middle name was Everett. I don't know if it was Pops or Malls. But Maul was the seventh child of a seventh child. And her her siblings were Leon, he was the oldest, and he fought in the Korean War. Charlie, Relia, a girl, and we used to call her Aunt Yo-Yo. And then Aunt Annie Lee, her name was Annie Lee, but she had it changed to Anna Lee because that sounded classier. Then Aunt Mary, and she's the one that we used to go visit in Mississippi. She passed away a few years ago. And then my mom, so that should make 7. Uncle Leon, Charlie. Oh, I think I forgot Sammy. Uncle Leon, Charlie, Relia, Annalie, Charlie, Mary, and Ma. Sammy was the closest in age to my mom, and so he is the reason that my family moved to Florida, which is the reason I was born here. Kathy and Michael were both born in Arkansas, as was my mom. My dad was born in Mississippi. So my Uncle Sammy had come down. He was into gas stations, like running gas stations. And he had come down and scoped it out and saw that there were gas stations that they could run. I believe they were Shamrock or Hess. And so he told my mom and dad, which Sammy and my dad were good friends. They used to go to races and everything and hang out together. And he convinced them that it would be good to move to Florida, and get a new start and everything. So they loaded up Kathy and Michael and drove to Florida. And the rest is history. They moved to New Smyrna first. They lived in New Smyrna Beach, and my dad ran a gas station over there. And about 5 years after they moved down or whatever, my mom did have a miscarriage, and it was a boy. And so I would have had a brother who was about 5 years older than me, because Kathy is 10 years older than me, and Michael is 13 years older than me. So I would have had one in between Kathy and I, a boy, because she could tell it was a boy. So my mom is the only one living of her family, and Dennis, the youngest of those, is the only one living of Pop's family. I will have to figure out who that other brother was. I can't believe I can't think of it right now. But see, that's why I wanted to tell this. That way somebody would know. So that is episode 1. The brothers and the sisters and the names. I'm going to tell just a couple of more tidbits. My mother's eldest brother, Leon, he was married twice. I don't remember. I think his first wife's name was Eileen. And he had 2 boys with her. And their names were Kenny and Danny. And the reason it's relevant is Kenny married someone named June, and they had one daughter named Jessica Lynn, and she's my cousin, and she is who I grew up with. She was my cousin. So my mom babysat her, and she went to Bonneville Elementary. She was 2 years older than me, and she's the gal that I kind of grew up around. They lived across the street for a while, and when they didn't live near us, she stayed with us in the summers and got off the school bus at my house and all that. So that is Jessica Lynn, and we called her Lynn, but now she goes by Jessica, and she is a teacher, and she lives in Louisiana. And she comes down once in a while and sees us. Her husband now does have dementia, so she's having to go through that, has a caretaker and everything. So, but anyway, she's only 2 years older than me. That is Jessica. Now, that same eldest brother, Leon, this is important too, because after he divorced Eileen, there's something in there that she was pregnant when he met the next wife or something. There was some scandalous. I don't remember what, but when he was in the army, he met this lady in Vienna, and her name was Rosa, and he brought her back and married her eventually. I don't know, but their 3 kids were Eric, Raymond, and Gary D. Potts. Yes, that's right. The Elvis impersonator, Gary D. Potts. Now, Gary is the father of Alicia, and Lauren. And they have come to both of my kids' weddings, and they live over in Castleberry or something. So they're in town. So that's why that's important. That was Maul's eldest brother's son's kids. So, and the one brother, Eric, he used to sell medical devices back when it was getting big, like CT machines and that kind of thing. So he made a good money, and now he lives up north, I think in Minnesota, and he owns a bar and restaurant, and he owns his own plane, and he's married. I think he's on his 2nd or 3rd wife, and so he lives up there. And Gary D. Potts, he lives up in Helen, Georgia. He's the one who has a yurt, and you can rent the yurt and camp there. He likes to cook German food. And Raymond passed away in a car accident, and as did his mom. His mom passed away. Rosa did. Uncle Leon passed away. I don't remember if he had cancer or heart problems, but he passed away when I was 10. So that's one of the brothers' family's stories. Those are actually our closest cousins, or family on Maul's side. Came from the oldest brother, which is kind of neat because she's the youngest and he's the oldest, was the oldest. But yet our families are closer than any of the ones in between. So anyway, so it's almost 15 minutes, so I'll stop there. It's a lot of information, but, if you ever wanted to know some info, that is some info about Ma and Pop a little bit. And I will tell more, but that's just the beginning. And I hope you enjoyed it. And I will talk to you again next video.